Hi guys, hope you're well. So in today's video, I wanted to kind of introduce the concept of trauma. And this is something that I found very interesting on my journey, especially in the way that trauma relates to dysregulation of the nervous system. And I know in some of the comments in the videos, few have been asking, how long should I do these exercises for? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and also how long will it take to see an improvement in my symptoms? So as I mentioned in a previous video, what we're trying to do is get you away from the fix-it mentality about, constantly monitoring your symptoms. Right? This is more about improving your life, becoming the best version of you. Everything that I'm teaching you, I want you to kind of take it on board as this is going to improve you as a human being. Okay, and that's the kind of mentality that we want to get into, rather than we're doing these exercises to fix ourselves. Because if you keep doing that, then you're going to keep monitoring, you're going to keep looking for improvements. That's the mindset we're trying to get you out of, right? Because then what that does, that puts you in the fear and fight state, and it just keeps that loop going. Okay, so it's a very slight adjustment in terms of the way you think about these exercises. Okay, so trauma, right? So as I said in previous videos, there's an energy issue here, right? So your nervous system has got kind of stuck in this perennial loop, and that's what's causing all of your symptoms. Okay, so there's some point in time where it could have been a medication that you took, it could have been a panic attack, it could have been increased stress, it could have been pregnancy, it could have been a variety of different factors where your body couldn't handle the emotions at that time. So that energy got stuck deep in your brain, deep in your limbic system, and it wasn't able to kind of discharge properly. So the way that what we're actually trying to do is bring your body into a state of harmony, in state of being okay, so that this energy that's stuck in your body can start to discharge, right? So what you find is, having done a lot of research and spoke to a lot of people on this subject, it's very similar to when you have victims of rape, victims from the war veterans, etc. A lot of the time these guys come back from war, and guess what their symptoms are? Tinnitus, they have light sensitivity, they have hallucinations with complex PTSD. There's, again, a million different symptoms that you can get. Okay, trauma begets trauma. Like once you start on that journey, it can constantly add to itself. So illness is another thing that can cause deep-seated trauma. So what we're trying to do is discharge that energy that's been building up in the body. And normally, if your body was in a healthy state, you would have been able to process that emotion, the energy would have discharged, and you would be fine. The way that you need to kind of look at this is, if you look at the animal world, right? Say if you've got a deer, and when a deer is chased by, a wild cat or a dog, right? What you'll usually find if you watch a nature documentary is if that deer survives that attack, that deer will shake for a little while, right? What that is the energy of fear and fight and flight moving through the body. So that's what the animal does to get rid of that energy. Once that energy's been processed by the body, right, it moves on, it's forgotten, it can go by its day, right? With humans, what's happened to us is when we're kind of stuck in these kind of trauma loops, our body doesn't know how to discharge that energy. So that energy just gets stuck, right? And this can last months, weeks, months, years, decades, right? With people with kind of unresolved trauma. And as I said, it can create a host of symptoms, right? So trauma dysregulates the nervous system, okay? And it gets stuck, as I said, deep in the limbic part of the brain, okay? So in the past, in ancestral times, what you've had was shamans, for example. Shamans were people who worked with plant medicine, who worked with, the earth and the spirit realm and energy and all that kind of stuff. And when we didn't have Western medicine, these guys, shamans in kind of ancestral tribes, would deal with trauma in the sense of bringing the spirit back into the body. They realized that there was a disconnect between the physical body and the spiritual body, okay? And what they would do is use various different psychedelics, various different rituals to kind of bring that spiritual side back into the body. So this is not woo, this has been going around for centuries, okay? I actually saw a shaman myself when I first got sick. I actually went to LA and I met a shaman who, well, a shaman was one kind of these new age shamans. And yeah, very quickly I realized this guy really didn't know what he was doing. And in the end, tried to extort money from me. So that's a different story. But, you know, the process of the fact that when trauma occurs, you kind of have a disconnect between your energetic field and your body, right? And that's why a lot of you guys dissociate, okay? That's the brain basically putting yourself into kind of a state of safety where you disassociate from the trauma, okay? So what we're trying to do is bring you, with all these exercises, everything that I'm trying to teach you is to bring yourself back into your body so that your body and your nervous system feel safe. They can switch off the alarm bells and all that energy, that negative energy that's been building up can just discharge, like with the deer, you know, it can discharge and all of your symptoms will subside and you can go along with your life, right? That's what we're trying to do here, okay? So, as I mentioned, you know, animals shake to get rid of trauma, okay? I would go through the same type of stuff. When I started doing these exercises, when I started bringing my life back into balance, I would wake up in the morning and my body would just start shaking. I would start having energy moving down my body through my feet. And it was almost like it was, when it was actually happening, it was, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but it was, you know, one of those moments where what the hell is going on? You feel this energy kind of moving through you. But then after the energy moved through me, about 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, I felt light. I felt like something had, you know, left me. And that is this energy that's been building up in you, right? You're going to start feeling the same things. The more you do this stuff, you will see the energy will start flowing through you. Your body will finally be able to process that energy that's been stuck deep in your brain. And as that energy leaves your body, you know, you'll feel lighter. Your symptoms will slowly start to subside because you're moving from, you know, the fight and flight stage to a healthy parasympathetic stage, which is your rest and repair. Okay. So in terms of the exercises that I want to introduce to you, these are very, very powerful exercises. So, and I want to say one thing with these exercises, less is always more. Okay. This is very gentle but powerful work that we're doing. Okay. And these are things that if you go to the top consultants who deal with, you know, rape victims, war veterans, etc., this is all based on Peter Levine and various other kind of trauma books. And we've learned a lot about trauma, you know, much more than, you know, back in the time we used to think shamans were the only ones that could resolve this type of trauma. But what we've learned in the last 5-10 years is that you can actually do this yourself through the body. Okay, so you don't need to travel to Mexico. You don't need to go see some fancy shaman and resolve these problems. You can actually do it yourself. Okay, so these type of exercises are focused on kind of bringing you back into the body, making you feel okay within your body, so that that energy that's trapped in your body will slowly start to dissipate. Your body will slowly start to process it. And, you know, by doing that, we're going to be relieving ourselves of all that trauma that got built up. Okay. So the first one is it's a tapping exercise. Okay. And before starting all of these exercises, what I would recommend is grounding yourself. Okay. Some of you might know the term grounding. What grounding means is basically connecting to the earth. The earth has a magnetic field. Okay. And as human beings, especially in the, you know, in the Western world, we've kind of lost touch with the ground. We live in these high-rise flats We don't have any connection to the ground. We walk around in kind of plastic sole shoes. That's why you have these earthing mats. You have even earthing events where people in cities will go to, artificial gardens or go to the forest, and they'll have earthing events because they realize the importance of getting in touch with the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, so coming back to source. So grounding is fantastic. A lot of the time what we're doing, as traumatized, people who have chronic illnesses, we're living in our heads a lot of the time. Okay, all of our attention is up here and into the air, right? We want to ground that energy. We want to bring ourselves back to the earth, back to the body. Okay, grounding, you're going to hear this a lot in all of my videos. Grounding is very, very key. Okay, so the way I like to ground before any of these exercises is just a quick visualization exercise. There's a few different ways that you can do this. I kind of visualize like a beaming ball of light that builds in my chest, and I push that light down my body, into my legs, and into the floor. Okay, and once you start visualizing this, the more you do it, you're going to start actually feeling the energy, right? I feel it very strongly now after doing this for quite a while, right? You start feeling the energy, and the energy will go down into the ground, and that's what they mean by grounding. Okay, there's different ways you can do it. There's different types of visualizations. Go on YouTube, check out grounding exercises. You'll find a host of different varieties. One of the ones that I really like is kind of visualizing that when my feet are on the floor, I'm feeling kind of roots growing from my feet into the floor, and I'm kind of pushing the energy down through those roots into the floor. Okay, so grounding is very key for this. Right, so anytime you're kind of disassociated or you're feeling like you're not connected with this world, etc., grounding is very, very important. Okay, so you start with the grounding exercise before you do any of these exercises. It takes about 30 seconds just to ground yourself into the earth. And the first one is you take your palm of your hand, right, and you take your other hand and you just tap on your hand. Okay, very simple. You just look at your hand and you tap on your hand. Okay, and what you'll notice is after about 10 taps, just stop, and you'll notice those little vibrations, almost like an aftershock on your hand. Okay, just be very conscious of that, right? We really want to tap into every sensation that your body's feeling. This is very important. And as I said, less is more with this stuff, right? So go slowly, be very, very kind of precise in what you're doing. And what I like to also do is in the back of my head, tell my subconscious that, this is my hand. This is part of me. Okay. This is the container of all of my emotions, of all of my sensations. This is my skin. This is my hand. It's part of me. So repeat that to yourself in the back of your head. You can say things along those kind of words, right? So once you've done that for a little bit, move to your right hand, okay? And you do the same thing. You just tap on it. This is my hand. This is part of me. This is who I am. Just concentrate on your hand. And you do about 30 seconds. You might get some funny looks from your family and stuff like that. Fuck them, right? This is you getting into your own body. This is going to be good for you. This is about you connecting to your soul, connecting to the earth, connecting to your body, and discharging all that energy, all that crap that's been built up in you, right, is going to start flowing out. Okay, the more you connect to your body, the easier it's going to be for all this energy to kind of discharge. Okay, so just keep tapping your hand. And then you move to your forearm, and it's the same exercise, right? You just keep tapping. And this is my forearm. This is part of me. This is a container. Just keep saying that in the back of your head, right? What you're trying to do here is you're trying to reconfirm your body in space to your brain, right? So these kind of exercises are very, very good at doing that, right? And you can work on each body part. So you can do your forearm, then move to your upper arm, right? And what you want to do is work your way through your entire body, right? It can take anything from 5-10 minutes, depending on how you do it. But if you feel really, really stressed and you feel like you need some grounding and you need to get back in your body, do it for 30 minutes, do it for an hour even. I've done it for 30 minutes before. And, after the session, I've just felt great. I felt connected again, and that's what we want to do. We want to feel connected. We want to feel connected to the earth by grounding. We want to feel connected to your body, right? So your body feels safe. So all this energy starts to flow within you, right? So that's one exercise, okay? The second exercise is another kind of body boundary exercise, which I like to call them. And this one is very similar, but you're working, instead of on your skin, you're concentrating on the muscles. So what you'll do is, with your arm here, just start firmly, but not overly firm, right? Just start massaging your arms, okay? And just say, these are my muscles in the back of your head. These muscles are part of me. This is the container of all of my emotions. What we're trying to do is set the container for all of your emotions. Everything is within your skin bag. It's within the boundaries of your body, right? And what you want to do is keep reaffirming to your brain where the boundaries of your body are, okay? So you just work on your muscles and just visualize your muscles, as you're doing the exercise, okay? And then move up to your forearm, say, upper arm, sorry. And these are the muscles of my upper arm, okay? These muscles are part of me. This is the container of all of my emotions and sensations, okay? So do that for about 30 seconds. Work throughout your body, do your thighs, your legs, your feet, all the different muscles. You have lots of muscles in your body, the muscles of your face. The more that you do this, the more that you're kind of sending those boundaries to your brain, and your brain's going to stop freaking out, right? Because, as I keep saying, one of the parts of this whole process is the fact that your energetic field, your body and your brain have got disconnected, and you need to start reconnecting them again, okay? So I hope you find that one. There's actually one more. There's a couple more, and these are kind of slightly more advanced ones. You can actually use, what's very good is, you have those kind of pulse shower heads, okay? You can actually use those on your body. Remember, you're trying to feel these sensations, okay? Those pulsed shower heads are really good. You can use them and just go through each muscle in your body, and you'll just feel the sensations, okay? A water bottle does the same thing as well. Use a water bottle on yourself. Just keep looking at the muscle and the body part that you're working on and feel the sensations. It could be the tapping, it could be the massaging of your muscles, or it could be the water droplets from, the shower head or the water bottle as well. So that's another thing that you can use if you have that. And lastly, this is something that I kind of do all the time. It's very good for when you're in kind of a panic state and your symptoms are taking you over. You're kind of in that overwhelm and you're kind of looking for something to kind of calm you down, right? Very, very simple, right? You want to just start finding pleasurable things. Doesn't sound pretty funny, but kind of pleasurable stuff, sensations on your body. So, it could be as simple as feeling your lips, okay? Say you've got a headache, or say your visuals are playing up, or you've got tinnitus, etc. Just what you want to do is counteract those, negative feelings and sensations with something positive, okay? So what I like to do is just feel your lips, okay? That's a nice sensation, okay? And you want to send those signals of safety and kind of pleasant sensations to your brain, okay? And you can do this through a variety of different things. I mean, I like to sometimes use a sock or a nice kind of brush, and just brush that over your skin and just really concentrate on the sensations, really see how it feels, be curious about those sensations, really get in touch with every single sensation in your body, okay? You want to move towards these sensations and find those pleasurable ones and kind of repeat them. Animals are fantastic as well. If you've got a cat or something, just stroke the cat as you normally would, but just focus on the sensations of how does it feel with all those kind of receptors in your hand when you're touching the cat. Okay, so this is all messages of safety that you're sending to your brain, and these are going to counteract all those kind of negative signals. And in the moment, they're really fantastic. I used to use that a lot in terms of when I felt like I was in overwhelm. I would just focus on kind of pleasurable sensations and send those messages of safety to your brain. Okay, guys. So I hope you find these helpful. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how it goes for you guys. And thanks for your time. And please subscribe as always. And Take care. Bye bye.